Hello everybody, it is Nick. Today we're doing our first installment of music reviews. So, something that we're going to be doing that's new on this channel is a music review whenever there's new music that comes out. And this is going to be broken up in a 5-part section. First section we're going to do, looking at it from an overall perspective, things that are critiques on the song that we don't like, general criticisms and whatnot. The second section is going to be from a music production perspective. So this is going to be everything from mixing and mastering, things we don't like about how the guitars sound with each other, whatnot. Then we're going to be talking about instrumentation in part 3. This is just in general going to be how the riffs are, how the song structure is, how the vocals and the drums are, and everything like that. Then section 4, our overall analysis, and section 5, our rating. So without further ado, let's get started with this first edition of music reviews. And today we are going to be reviewing not an album, but a song by the legendary Metallica. Now, Metallica just recently, on Monday, dropped a surprise song by the name of Lux Æterna. Quick editor's note here, I am dyslexic and have Asperger's, and that makes for a very great combination when it comes to pronouncing words. So, if I mispronounce any words or say any other words wrong throughout the whole entire video, you know why. Just for future note, the song is Lux Æterna, not Lux Æther. Yeah, great job, Nick. Now, this song has been met with some criticism that I've seen, and also a lot of people who actually love it to death. We're going to take a look at it from a different perspective than they are, and get a little bit of a unique insight into this. So without any further ado, let's get started. So first off, Lux Æther. I made sure that I did not watch the video or the song until I was ready to do this music review. And the reason being was that I didn't want anybody kind of swaying me in any one direction with the biases. We want to keep these as neutral as possible, and I want this to be my honest opinion. So what I decided to do was wait until about like 20 minutes before filming this video to watch it, kind of get my thoughts together, and then go ahead and make the video. After I watched the video, I did see a lot of people commenting, hey, this is kind of a return to form for Metallica, like first album Metallica. Then I saw a lot of people saying, this is an embarrassment, this is terrible, oh my god, it's awful. My approach on this is actually kind of going to be 50-50. I mean, it's an okay song. It's definitely not terrible, but it's definitely not great. For Metallica, this is not a terrible song. They've had definitely a lot more terrible songs out there. Let's just ignore Saint Anger exists for a minute. Metallica has produced a lot of mediocre music over the years. I mean, we can take a look at Load and Reload. Those were kind of mediocre as compared to their other previous discographies. And aside from that, Metallica has also produced absolute legendary works such as Injustice for All, Master of Puppets, basically the first 4 albums. Yes, I'm not counting the Black Album. Okay, I wasn't really a fan of that album. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Because remember, this is my opinion. You're watching for my opinion. So if you don't like it, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But either way, all opinions are going to be accepted and welcomed in the comments below, respectfully. Everybody be respectful. That's the main point. All that to the side, I don't know honestly how I feel about this song. I think that yes, it is slightly a return to form for Metallica. However, I think that they're honestly trying a little bit too hard with this song to return to form. Because again, it gives off these nice 80s vibes about their music, kind of like the old speed metal days. But then at the same time, it kind of feels a little bit forced, and I don't know if I like that. Because here's the thing, you want your artist that you're listening to kind of put out music that he puts out naturally, not something that he feels forced to push out so that way he gets, people interested in him again. Now let's take a look at this from a music production perspective. So for one, this song is mixed and mastered absolutely well. Metallica has enough money to create their own label now, get some of the best recording artists to be able to record their songs and record their tracks. Then they get the best mastering that's out there because again, Metallica is rich and they produce this amazing song. It sounds absolutely phenomenal. It's a really great mix, except for one thing, and that's the hi-hats. I cannot get over what's wrong with the hi-hats. Every time I listen to it, it literally sounds like the guy just cut it off right at 5,000 hertz and left this tiny little range here for the hi-hats just to sound like hi-hats have to have depth to them because you want them to allow for you to feel the time but also not be too low so that way you actually feel the cymbals. The cymbals are more meant to be heard and add extra color to the song. The thing is that there's kind of a little bit of a range where you want to put your cymbals at and you don't want them to be too high of a range, otherwise it just sounds like a hiss. That's kind of what I was feeling there. It was way too bright in the hi-hat. I don't know what was going on with that. Other than that, the kicks sounded very punchy. The snare was a nice, very fat, loud. Now looking at this from an instrumentation perspective, the riffs, I'm going to be honest, they're kind of simple. And I mean, yeah, this is Metallica. This isn't, I'm not asking them to play Necrophagist or anything like that. But at the same time, Metallica has had all sorts of difficulty ranges in their riffs. But does that mean I hate a simple riff every so often? No, absolutely not. I just feel like this song, if it's going to be the flagship symbol for their next album, I feel like that they could have put out a better song kind of to reintroduce themselves. And honestly, like I said, the song, as far as like instrumentation, everything kind of fit together except for the solo. solo. I wasn't really a fan of the solo, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Kirk Hammett has been able to produce out some absolutely mind-numbing solos. This one, I kind of feel like, this solo, I feel like was Kirk Hammett trying to cover Dave Mustaine after Dave Mustaine heard a Kirk Hammett solo and was trying to cover that. It kind of doesn't sound very well. And I mean, like, yeah, I get that it's kind of just like, it's one of those solos where he's making noise, but at the same time, there's parts of it where it feels really sloppy, where I hear like sympathetic string vibrations going on as well. And that could have just been that was the best take that they did. And they said, you know what, screw it, let's just add it in there. But I don't think that works really well with this song. Now, am I judging old Metallica versus new Metallica a little bit harshly? Yeah, kind of. But at the same time, you got to remember, these guys have been around for a while. They know what they're doing. So I feel like it's not really that harsh of a criticism at the end of the day. Now, as far as the actual instruments and everything like that, and the writing goes, compositionally, I don't know how I feel about this song. I mean, it's kind of structured like a pop song, if we're being honest. It's pretty simple. There's a lot of repeating parts. This is Metallica that we're talking about. They're kind of embracing more of a rock band kind of a vibe now, especially after the whole Stranger Things thing. And there's no problem with that. Although I will say one thing about the song, as far as everything else goes. I don't have a problem with the drums. I don't really have a problem with the guitar riffs and all that. They're fine. They kind of work. The vocals, I think James is starting to auto-tune his vocals. In some of the higher notes there, it was sounding a little bit suspect, like maybe it was pitch corrected. And again, I could be wrong. I don't know, but I think that they're starting to resort to some things that are a little bit, not so good. And I mean, that's fine. I understand if they want to do that for consistency's sake, just as long as they're not doing what a lot of these other, like, you know, garage bands are doing out there, where they're just, oh, that's okay, we'll just fix this. Oh, it's okay, one take, it's fine, we'll just fix this. So I'm sure what it is that he was just having a little bit of inconsistencies, and they probably just was like, let's just fix that real quick, because he's probably getting older and tired. But I do think he's starting to auto-tune some of his vocals. Honestly, like I said before in the previous statement ahead of time, I think that this is kind of a middle-of-the-road song. I think that this is not a strong flagship song for the future album that's coming out, 72 Seasons, and I think that Metallica could honestly have done better for releasing a single. Although, as much of a surprise as it was to release this in the middle of nowhere without any announcement on Monday, it was kind of a welcome surprise. It was good hearing that Metallica is still making music and not just going to play all their old stuff still. But as far as whether or not this is amazing music, I'm gonna kind of say no. I'll be kind of generous with it when I do my rating, but overall, I think Metallica could have done better. Now, when it comes to the rating, I'm gonna give this, I'll say, a 5.3 out of 10. Now, my ratings that I do are always a scale of 1 to 10, but we can never have a perfect 10 because, like Barstool Sports or like ice skating, you can always meet something that goes beyond your 9.9. There's always going to be something that'll blow the other one out of the water. With that being said, this first issue of Music Reviews is done. So, if you liked what you saw, like, subscribe, ring that little notification bell, drop a comment down below telling me what you thought about the song, and again, we'll all keep things respectful here in the comments section. That's what we're all about. And then, I'll see you guys in the next one. We put out drum shorts twice a day. We put out other long-form content when we get the chance to, and we're going to put out music reviews as soon as we can, as soon as there's new music on the horizon. So, I'll see you guys later in the next video. Cheers.